We're just a few weeks out from a brand new Mario game, and by brand new game I mean a port of a very good game with a little extra content stapled on. It's a brand new Bowser, so bad that even his son thinks he's gone too far. Fury Bowser, erroneously called Godslayer Bowser by the fans, is black as coal, save for a few glowing embers, and is arguably one of the largest forms that Bowser has ever taken. It got me thinking. Bowser sure goes through a whole lot of colorful transformations. Dude might be a turtle, but he changes his form so often that he's basically a chameleon. King Koopa has been stomping the Mushroom Kingdom for over 25 years now, and in the process, I wanted to see just how many colors of the rainbow he's stepped into along the way. So that's my goal. It's gonna get weird. Let's talk about it. Today's video is brought to you by our long-term partner, you guessed it, ExpressVPN. Using the internet without a VPN is like trying to run through this level without a dev star. Even when you're on your own home Wi-Fi, you might think that nobody can see what you're doing, especially if you clear your browsing history or use incognito mode, but no. Your internet service provider can still track your browsing data, and in the US, they're legally allowed to sell your information to advertisers. With ExpressVPN's best-in-class encryption, they keep your data secure from third parties and your IP address hidden. I rely on ExpressVPN every day in my online privacy and protection. They're consistently a top-reviewed VPN because of their ease of use, great support, and high internet speeds. If you're interested in a top-rated VPN to power up your internet connection, go to expressvpn.com/thejwits and find out how you can get 3 months free. So, today's topic is the many colors of Bowser. I made it my goal to uncover every shade and hue of this very rude dude. I just set one ground rule, and that was no simple palette swaps, like in Smash Bros. Or Mario Golf. But in general, I wanted to find as many differently colored and unique versions of Bowser as I could. Here's our canvas, the Wall of Bowsers. Well, let's uncover it. Naturally, it just feels right to start with the very first color Bowser had in his official art. Gray! When Shigeru Miyamoto was finishing up Super Mario Bros., he wanted to hire an official artist for the box art of the original Japanese Famicom release. But he was running out of time, so he just decided to do it himself. I feel like I've seen this very picture of Mario all the time, but you never see that Bowser tucked to the side. Despite the original sprite, which we will get back to, Miyamoto envisioned King Koopa as an ox at first. He was designed with inspiration from the Ox King in the 1960s Toei animated Journey to the West film, also known in the West as Alakazam the Great. I didn't expect to start with gray, but while we're here, I figure we might as well explore some of the more monochromatic paints before we hit up the rainbow. It's like we're in a manga. I'm including the Bowser statue here, which seems like an inanimate thing, but it appears in a billion Mario games, still breathes fire sometimes, and it even got its own entry in the Mario Character Encyclopedia. Also a statue, but with its own unique name, is Mecha Bowser, which despite being half of a Bowser body in various Mario Kart titles, still takes a very lively role as the main antagonist of one of the new Mario Bros. Minigames. And hey, while we're scraping the bottom of the barrel with inanimate objects already, there's also Dark Hammer Slam Bowser, which got his exclusive amiibo and in-game character in the Skylanders Superchargers games. And if you really want to dig deep into the toy bin, 2020 gave us Kubala, this Bid Toys Ultraman-inspired version of King Koopa. And finally, there's Baoshin, the merged form between Bowser and Lucian that serves as the final boss of Mario Tennis Aces. Moving from Bowser the Gray to Bowser the White, our easiest and most iconic example is Dry Bowser, who first debuted in New Super Mario Bros. When the lava melted off his skin and left his exposed skeleton remaining. Also decked in white is Groom Bowser, who was featured prominently in Super Mario Odyssey, but we've seen a white tux turtle as far back as the Wii Super Paper Mario, and when I dug really deep, I even found a variant in the early 90s Super Mario Adventure comic. And if clothes make the color, we also have a white Dr. Bowser from Dr. Mario World. And here I was thinking Mario's medical license was questionable. Completing the Bowser White Wardrobe Trio is what I like to call Hipster Bowser, featured in the Nintendo 3DS faceplate commercials. From yin white to yang black, we can obviously start with the inspiration for today's video. Fury, quote-unquote, God-Slayer Bowser. And while I am still certainly in awe of this pitch-black demon, it isn't the first of its color. There is also the Black Paint Bowser, which serves as the primary antagonist of Paper Mario Color Splash. And there's also the original Giant Bowser, the not-so-baby-sized Baby Bowser at the end of Yoshi's Island. It might be a trick of the light, but this iconic boss is basically a giant black void that engulfs the screen. And now that we're done with those, let's get some colorful colors in here. It's time to ride the Rainbow Road. We haven't really talked about regular old classic Bowser yet, so let's start there. The Bowser that we've come to know and love was designed by Yoichi Kotabe. He thought Miyamoto's original box art resembled a hippo more than a turtle, and worked alongside Miyamoto to develop Mario promotional art that would last for years. It's kinda hard to designate a classic Bowser singular color, but I'm gonna start with yellow. Kotabe's original Bowser art features a yellowy orange body, yellow spines, and almost rarely used today, yellow eyebrows and hair. Bowser also had yellow hair in the 1993 Super Mario Bros. Movie. Oh, there's gonna be some ugly Bowsers today. There is also the solid gold dry Bowser in the mobile game Mario Kart Tour. This pure gold Bowser serves as a metaphor for Nintendo's lust for coins by trying to make Mario Kart into a gacha game. Also, since I was shameless enough to include Statue Bowser already, there are gold Bowser statues in Super Mario Odyssey. And yeah, it's another deeper stretch, but the Royal Sticker Bowser from Sticker Star does have a gold crown and glowing yellow eyes. And while that's the best I could find for one of the most prominent shades of Bowser's body, I was genuinely surprised at how much content I could find for his backside. Green. So obviously there's the green spiny shell. It's also the dominant color of the NES Bowser sprite, which can be partially attributed to the console's color limitations. In Super Mario World, his sprite has arms that are entirely green. Mario designer Shigefumi Hino admitted in a 2017 interview that this was a mistake, and it was later corrected in things like the Game Boy Advance remake and Super Mario Maker. But at least for me, when I think of Green Bowser, I think of this guy. The Deke Entertainment Super Mario Super Shows all feature this guy. What is this, King K. Rool? He's so green! I've seen some people say that this is supposed to be a direct adaptation of the original sprite, while others say that this character ended up being a merger of Bowser and Wart. Either way, from 1989 onwards, all these Mario shows featured this guy, which then also extended to comic books as well. And I wish I could tell you that's the end of it, but these American entertainment networks grew mad with green power, and they turned Green Bowser into something terrible. Local Los Angeles television gave us King Koopa's cool cartoons, and do I even need to say it? Of course all 4 of those words started with the letter K. Here, a live-action King Koopa acted as an MC, segueing into random, completely unrelated public domain cartoon programs. And I wish I could tell you that this is the most terrifying Green Bowser that America gave us, but competing with it is also Super Mario Bros. At the Ice-capades, where a different ice-skating live-action Green Koopa, played by Mr. Belvedere, hijacks a broadcast hosted by Jason Bateman and Alyssa Milano. You just can't make this up. The late 80s were out of control, and I know that this is a Bowser video, but I also feel it's important to tell you that Luigi destroys Bowser's minions by shooting them in the face with a gun. As is appropriate for the color green, this shade of Bowser is truly sickening. One big color that I was really struggling with is orange. I do think that you can argue some Bowser bodies are much more orange than yellow, but otherwise it was kinda hard to find great examples. One absolutely orange Bowser, though, is the ridiculously named Meowser. This big cat is clearly based on the tiger, complete with stripes all the way down. I'm also gonna give points to Mario plus Rabbids' Mega Dragon Bowser, which heavily features the theme of magma throughout its body and wings. Another color that gave me trouble at first was red. So much so that I even turned to you guys on Twitter to get some help. But thanks to you guys and a little more research, I learned that Bowser has everything it takes to paint the town red. In general, I think it's worth noting that Bowser's logo is almost always shown with the color red. Or in the case of Mario Party, the infamous red Bowser space. In Bowser's Inside Story, Bowser glows red when Fury mode is activated. I guess you could say this was the first Fury Bowser. Bowser also has a red shell and claws in his default uniform for Mario Strikers Charged. And for some reason, all of Bowser's worst games all love to incorporate the color red. Hotel Mario Bowser is ridiculously rotund, and his face and stomach look strangely sunburned. The final Bowser boss in Mario is Missing for NES is a shade of red. And in Mario is Missing for MS-DOS, Luigi humiliates Bowser by stripping him of his shell, leaving him standing in his underwear. He blushes in embarrassment, and I guess that counts. We also got a jolly red Santa Bowser just last month from Mario Kart Tour. The bag of presents is a metaphor for commercialism because they had the audacity to make Mario Kart a gacha game! And in my deepest dive, there was concept art for Bowser in Mario Odyssey that experimented with what Bowser would look like if he inhabited Peach's body. She was very red. And this is arguably the closest we've gotten to an official Bowsette. But if you're looking for the reverse, where a woman took over Bowser's body, that's where Mario and Luigi comes in. Cackletta merged with Bowser to become Bowletta, which I'm gonna count as pink because of the ears and eyes, and I'm also lumping pink together with red. Actually, now that I think about it, the Mario and Luigi franchise is obsessed with giving us possessed versions of Bowser. Moving on to purple, we've got Shrouzer, the purple glowing Elder Princess Shroom-infested Bowser to end Mario and Luigi Partners in Time. Going back to old school Japanese box art, there were a couple of official Bowser artworks for Mario 3 that featured Bowser with a big purple cape and an ominous eyeball clasp. And then I ran out of purple. I don't know, Bowser's got a purple car? I got nothing. But I have saved my favorite for last. Blue Bowser contributes to one of the greatest Bowser mysteries of all time. Mario and Luigi continues to provide, this time with Dark Bowser, when the Star Bowser absorbed enough of Bowser's DNA in Bowser's Inside Story. Complete with blue skin and a wicked black mohawk, this is one of the very rare Bowsers in the Mario universe that you fight as Bowser. I'm also gonna give blue points to the armored Bowser boss at the end of Yoshi's Safari. Arguably the only Super Mario first-person shooter game. And finally, we have the most confounding Bowser of all. Bowser's brother? What began as a graphical glitch in the original NES Mario Bros. Became its own unique character in the Super Mario sequel, The Lost Levels. Toward the end of the game, you face a distinctly different colored Bowser from the rest of the fake Bowsers. He's blue, and if you defeat him with fireballs, he doesn't turn into a minion either. So he's not a regular fake, he's right before regular Bowser, but he isn't regular Bowser, so who is he? Some early Japanese guidebooks began listing him as another Bowser, and then others began calling him Bowser's younger brother. Then, the Nintendo Power Guide for Super Mario All-Stars described him as Bowser's twin. Then came Smash Bros. For Wii U, which called the blue Bowser a mysterious fake Bowser, and also mentioned that the blue Bowser skin in that game is an honor to this original character. The official Super Mario Bros. Encyclopedia is back to calling this character Fake Bowser, but it has its own character entry, even with its own separate talking point. Whatever they are, they have the same powers as Bowser, but their real identities are a mystery. I don't know what they are or where they're from, but Blue Bowser is real, it's canon, and I'm definitely adding it to the collection. Alright, so I think that's everything. I went through all the colors of the rainbow, but there's no— oh, that's it! Rainbow Bowsers! These Bowsers are so powerful that they decided to take the entire spectrum of color all at once. In Super Mario 64, the final Bowser in the Sky Boss has a rainbow lighting effect applied to it. At first I just thought this was my imagination as a kid, but the excellent blog Super Mario Broth confirmed that there is indeed a rainbow shader under the skin of the sky. In the appropriately named Color Splash, Bowser originally envisioned using the paint in order to give himself a rainbow shell. Like we mentioned earlier, it backfired horribly, but the ambition and the in-game asset is still there. And finally, even further continuing the Mario and Luigi trend of new colored Bowsers is the very fancy Dreamy Bowser, with distinct coloration for all of his major appendages. So, why did we do this? I don't know, man. I just think they're neat. The same way I obsess over differently colored shiny Pokemon or different Link tunics, sometimes all it takes is a new shade to catch my interest. Bowser is certainly one of the most colorful characters in all of media, and I've always been excited to see a new form added to the mix. I also can't wait to turn into a giant cat and kick his ass. I'll see you guys next time with more colorful content.